What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into episode number 674 of Underground Sports Philadelphia, presented by the city of Vineland. It's your boy KB coming at you solo dolo, because that's what this show has turned into, though. It's my own solo Philly sports podcast, where I break down everything happening in Philadelphia sports, everything happening with our company, and a whole lot more. Got a fun one on deck for you. We are so close to being so back and caught up on episodes coming out in a timely manner. I appreciate everybody's patience. It has been a wild couple of months with scheduling and everything, from the Olympics to traveling for the PLL. So yeah, we're getting caught up. We're almost there. I promise. Either at the very end of September or early October, we are going to be fully caught up and back to our regularly scheduled program of episodes dropping every Monday and Thursday. Thursday episodes recorded live on Wednesdays. I'm very excited. But we got a fun one here for you. But before we get into everything, make sure you guys are subscribed to the pod. Follow us, subscribe, Apple, Spotify, every social media platform. Subscribe, like and subscribe. Leave a like on the video if you're watching on YouTube. Follow us at Underground PHI across the board. That is where you can keep up to date with everything we got going on. You know, the Birds are in session, coming off a shitty Monday Night Football loss. And, of course, the Fightin' Phils are gearing up for Red October. So, got a whole lot of stuff coming in the next couple of months for you. So be sure to follow us. And, of course, follow me at KBIZZL311 on Twitter and KBIZZL311 on Twitter, KBIZZLE11 on Instagram and Threads. Subscribe to the pod, Apple and Spotify. Leave a 5-star review. It really does help, guys, when I say that. Subscribe to the pod. Really does help. Subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers. Let's make that happen sooner rather than later. Subscribe, leave a like on the video, drop a comment down below, and be a friend, tell a friend. Ring that bell icon and subscribe to the pod. And, of course, this show is presented by the City of Vineland, and the City of Vineland Municipal Calendar features city-organized, city-sponsored, and city-affiliated events that are of public interest. The calendar, which is accessible at vinelandcity.org, is a good way for residents and visitors to build awareness, remain engaged with city government, and participate in local events. You can also follow the City of Vineland on social media via their Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube pages. And through these tools, you can stay connected to the community and get important announcements about programs and services offered by the city. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast. Got an interesting one here for everybody, and it is in regards to the 76ers arena debacle. The announcement has been made, and I hate it. It's so dumb. Philadelphia Mayor Cheryl Parker said that her administration reached an agreement with the Philadelphia 76ers for an arena in Center City. Now, if you know me, you know I don't live in Philadelphia, but Philly is my second home. And I have a lot of friends who call Philly home. I have a lot of friends who call areas of Philadelphia and the tri-state area home. Building an arena in Center City is such a nightmare situation for so many reasons. And I'm not even going to touch just yet on what it does for the uniqueness that we have in South Philly at the Stadium District, which is what I like to call it. Putting an arena in Center City, this is not like the Premier League or even in my hometown of Vineland, New Jersey, where our high school football stadium is right in the middle of a neighborhood. This is not like, England in the Premier League. This is not like Camden Yards or Wrigley Field or Fenway or anything like that, where it has been an arena or a stadium that has been in the city for decades upon decades upon decades, if not over a century. Okay? This was not built back in the day where, it made logistical sense to have your stadium in the neighborhood. You are plopping a multi-billion-dollar stadium into Center City, dispersing people who have lived there for decades, and there's no front-facing plan whatsoever on where those people are going to move, how you're going to accommodate the city, and transportation. Transportation is such a huge, and this is first and foremost, displacing people in Chinatown is so diabolical that it disgusts me, and I feel for the people who live there, who have made that area of Philadelphia such a lively and cultural place for so many years. On top of that, the transportation factor. You have 2 regional rails for public transit. It's already difficult enough to get around in that area of Philadelphia via car if you're coming from outside the city. It's bad enough that the SEPTAs don't go 24 hours because SEPTA's not paying their employees to do that. It used to be on the weekends at least. It was 24 hours. So the transportation is going to be a nightmare getting to this arena in 2031 or whenever it's supposed to open. And genuinely, this is the Harris Blitzer Entertainment special. This is what they do. They buy up entities that are pennies on the dollar, just like they did with the Sixers, and then they build them up to flip them. That is how they made their money. It is pure greed, and this is their ploy to say, oh, look, we got a new stadium for this team, so that when they go to sell the team, which I can't wait for that day, they'll get more profit from the sale because there's a new arena attached to it. I hate it. I hate it for the citizens of Philadelphia in that area. I hate it for the transportation nightmare that it's going to be to get to a game. And genuinely, you've removed a subsection of your fan base, the South Jersey Sixers fan and the Delaware Sixers fan have been compromised by this greatly in terms of patronizing Sixers games. It is incredibly easy for people in Delaware and people like me in South Jersey to get to South Philly right off of 55, right off of 42, and get down to the stadiums. It is incredibly easy. It is a 45-minute drive. And I love it. It's very convenient. Now, not only does the situation of having to drive into the city, where it's going to be a clusterfuck to get in and out of on a game day, especially if it's a weekday, the traffic from like work hours and everything is going to be horrendous. And then on top of it, getting out is going to be even worse. And just the logistics of getting there on time for a game is going to be crazy. for people that are out of town. And I just, it is such an oversight by Sixers ownership, by the city of Philadelphia, to discredit where your fans are coming from. It is a slap in the face by Sixers upper management and ownership to not think about this. There is so much land down in the stadium district that can be purchased, I'm sure, for even less money to build a stadium that can house the Sixers, that could house the WNBA team that eventually comes to Philadelphia. Once a competent ownership group decides to buy in and say, hey, we can make a killing here. And whatever else wants to go in there, okay? The fact that you've alienated citizens, first of all, the citizens of Chinatown are getting alienated tenfold. And then from a fandom perspective, your South Jersey and Delaware resident fans are... You've made it that much more difficult. Not only is it wildly expensive to go to a Sixers game now, and for what? They haven't won a damn thing, okay? They haven't gotten out of the second round since 2001. What gives you the right to say, hey, we deserve this as an owner, okay? And that's no slight on the players in particular that are here. Sure, could they have played better in some of the series that they were in? Absolutely. We've talked about that ad nauseum on this show. But this isn't about the players. This is about corporate greed. This is about ownership incompetence and about owners who do not care about the fans. They can say all they want when they're facing the camera. But Josh Harris is more concerned about the Washington Commanders and the New Jersey Devils and Crystal Palace in the Premier League. And David Blitzer is more worried about the Cleveland Guardians. What a hodgepodge, horseshit conglomerate of sports teams to own. And it's wildly expensive to go to a Sixers game now for one person, let alone, say, a family of four, which is kind of your baseline average of a night out at a sports game. Now you're making the transportation factor that much more difficult. I can only imagine what the concessions are going to be at this new arena. And it's just not logical to go to a game. Like, I saw this news and I was like, I'm never going to be able to go to a Sixers game. Like, I'm going to have to plan months in advance if I even want to think about going to a game now. You know, on a whim, where the stadium district is, if you live in South Jersey, if you live in Delaware, if you live in Philly, on a whim, you can say, hey, in the morning, you want to go to the game tonight? You go down to the arena. Boom, you're there. It's a logical nightmare what is going to occur, and it's a damn shame. Because there are literally no positives to this move whatsoever. The displacement of citizens, the alienating of fans in your fan base, the traffic nightmare, which my good pal Olivia Smith brought this up on Twitter too. That is a crowded area. If there is game day traffic, and heavens forbid, there's some sort of emergency that has to go down where there are multiple hospitals in that area, that's crazy. It is crazy that is, like, even on their minds of occurring. It should shock me, but guess what? It doesn't shock me that this is happening. The Camden thing was never going to happen. They were never going to move to Camden. That was a full-fledged, let's back them up into a corner and see who blinks first type of move. It was never going to happen. I'm
Mayor Anthony Finucci, If you're looking for the right location, think Vineland, New Jersey. Our pro-business approach is supported by financial incentives, workforce development programs, and other resources which can give your business a competitive edge. Whether you're starting a new business or expanding to new markets, our business environment, infrastructure, accessibility, and quality of life make Vineland an ideal location. More information about how we can help your business grow can be found at vinelandcity.org. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
I am just, I'm speechless from this. The renderings of the arena look like absolute shit. It looks so out of place, and I'm just disappointed as a fan that, you know, I saw so many people online say, "Oh yeah, it's so nice when 3 arenas are empty and there's only one team going." Shut the fuck up. Okay? It is extremely convenient knowing that your stadiums are all in one spot. And guess what? When it's around this time of the year, when the Eagles are playing at home, when the Flyers have a preseason game, when the Sixers are getting ready to play in October, when the Phillies are playing in fucking Red October baseball, multiple teams are playing all at once. Last year, we had Phillies playoff baseball. We had international soccer friendly at the Link, and Flyers hockey going on at the Wells Fargo Center. Now, could the stadium district be spruced up a bit to where it's not just the stadiums, not just Live Casino, and not just Xfinity Live? Absolutely. And that's where the Sixers failed this. They could have built their arena down there. There's plenty, you know, the place where Josh Harris lands his chopper when he decides to show up for a game. They could have built the arena there. And then that's going to open up the opportunity for an ownership group to come in and say, hey, we want to bring a WNBA team to Philly. You're telling me that a WNBA team would not sell out year one season tickets every single night? We are clamoring as fans to, one, have a WNBA team to support in our backyard, and 2, have another team inevitably hurt us by losing in a championship or something like that. But at the end of the day, when they do win a championship, it's going to be freaking sweet. Okay? It blows my mind that, you know, we don't have a competent ownership group with the Sixers to realize the unification that the Flyers, Eagles, and Phillies all work together on so many things, and the Sixers are just like the stooge. It is the meme of all the soldiers lined up behind the wall. The Sixers are the clown. It's the dragon meme. And sure, the Flyers have not had the success that we'd like to see from them over the past decade. That is a fact. But guess what? They're trying now. They have the right people in place, in my opinion, to get these jobs done, and they're putting together a team for the now and future to be successful. It's going to take time. But they finally have wised up and are going through a rebuild. They're getting the young pieces in place. Michkov is here. So it's one of those things that, you know, while the Flyers haven't had the success, they are now working towards getting back to the echelon where the Eagles are, where the Phillies are, where outside of this year the Philadelphia Union have been, and I'm not even going to start talking about that ownership group because it's a mess. Okay? But it is one of those things that you just wish that the Sixers ownership group, sure, there's connections to Philadelphia and Philadelphia residents and natives involved that are like minority owners and kind of the facing of the ownership group and everything. But when the top dogs, when the head of the snake is who they are, it's an incompetent beast. There's no connection whatsoever to the city, to the fans, to the players. This ownership group had a GM that had a burner account going, talking shit about your best player in franchise history since Allen Iverson. Okay? Like, that is where the Sixers are right now. Like, I genuinely, like, the Sixers drove Matt away from being dialed in as a fan. Basketball is his first love, and they ruined it in 2021. They couldn't keep people happy here. Now, hopefully that this year changes that with Paul George and another year of Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid together. But, like, outside of that, what have the Sixers done to warrant a new stadium? To have, like, this strong arming of the city of Philadelphia? I just genuinely don't understand the logic and the process of it, no pun intended. And it shatters my heart as a fan for, like I said, the citizens of Chinatown deserve so much better. The out of Philly fans, the South Jersey, the Delawares, the suburbs of Pennsylvania, who are Sixers fans, who are just as loyal. And I hate that gatekeeping bullshit, too, of the people who live in the city. It's like, oh, you're not from Philly. But shut the fuck up. We are all fans in here, okay? And that's the thing that drives me nuts about so many different, like, factions of our fandom. I don't care if you're a 4 for 4, a 5 for 5, or you're just an Eagles fan, or you're just a Sixers fan, or you're just a Phillies fan, or you're just a Flyers fan. At the end of the day, we root for the same fucking team. And I want you to have just as good as an experience going to a game that I would hope you would want from me. And now, because of this whole plan, starting in less than a decade, myself and hundreds upon thousands of South Jersey residents, and hundreds upon thousands of Delaware residents, and hundreds upon thousands of suburb residents in Pennsylvania and Philadelphia suburbs are not going to be able to experience an easy way to go and watch the Sixers in person. Plain and simple. It is a genuine fact that this whole project makes it that much more difficult for a large portion of the Sixers fan base to go and enjoy their team in person. To on a whim say, hey, let's go to the game tonight. It's not that easy anymore. And when that lease ends at the Wells Fargo Center in 2031 and everything's happening in Center City, it's going to reflect. You know, early on, there's going to be the people that want to go and see the stadium and everything, so you're going to get the attendance. But over time, it's going to reflect that South Jersey, Delaware, and the suburbs are not going to Sixers games because of the logistics of getting there just are not worth the headache. It sucks. It sucks as a fan who has grown up going to the Vet, to the Spectrum, to now the Link, the Wells Fargo Center, Citizens Bank Park, and enjoying going down there. And that's not even on top of the culture of fandom that's been built in the parking lots and it becoming such a melting pot of fans that for Eagles games, for Sixers games, for Phillies games, for Flyers games, for Wings games, it has become a cultural spot for us to tailgate and enjoy each other's company, enjoy good food, enjoy camaraderie, share stories, tell jokes, bust each other's balls, and just have a good time before going into a game and coming out of a game. The tailgating culture in Philadelphia, for the most part, everything has its outliers, but for the most part, is such a special part of our fandom. And I'm not saying you're tailgating every Sixers game. I'm not saying you're tailgating every Flyers game, blah, 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 blah. But back in 2019 when we were throwing tailgate parties because Mike Scott was our fucking guy, those were legit. Okay? When we had the Mike Scott Hive rocking and rolling, going to support our guy. The Sixers tailgates were fucking sick. And it's a shame that that's gone now. You know, sure, we still have, 7 years, but it's in the back of everyone's minds that down the line, that's gone when it comes to Sixers games. You're not going to be able to do that. And that sucks. That sucks. That sucks. That sucks. I don't know, man. It's disappointing. It's disheartening. It's greedy as all hell. And there's so many layers to it that I'm just disappointed as a fan. As a Sixers fan, with this news of the Center City Stadium getting greenlit by the city, I'm disappointed. And genuinely, I don't know how many Sixers games, if any, I'll be going to as a fan. It's that much of a logistical nightmare to get to and get out of that I just don't see the benefit of it. I don't see the benefit of it. And it's going to be even worse when you have national TV games. The whole setup for them, I feel for them, like it sucks. And it's unfortunate, it's disheartening. And it really puts a chink in the armor of your fandom that they're just doing this out of the corporate greediness in their hearts. And it's going to be an awesome day when a true owner who cares about the team, who cares about the city, who cares about the fans, who cares about the players, who cares about the employees that work for the team, inevitably buy the team. And it's going to be an awesome day. And I can't wait for the Sixers to have a competent ownership group. And it sucks that it's not right now when you have two of the best players in franchise history since Allen Iverson on the team that, you know, are easily like top 25 players in the league right now. And then you just brought in the biggest free agent signing potentially in franchise history since Dr. J. It just sucks not having, you know, we're spoiled with owners in this city with Jeffrey Lurie and John Middleton. They are owners who stray from they are in the minority of owners that will do whatever it takes to win because they care about their team, they care about the city, and they want the fans to know that they care, and they want the fans to know that they hear us, and they want to deliver year in and year out, game in and game out. And the Sixers just does not have that feel whatsoever, has not had that feel for a very, 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 very long time. And it just makes you lose interest because you don't know what the goal is from the top down. They can say all they want, oh, you know, our goal is to win a championship. But when it feels that way more so from the players and the coaching staff than it does from where the culture needs to start from, and that is the top at ownership. Look at the consistency factor. The Phillies, sure, historically, they've had their ups and downs. That's what happens when you've been around since 1883. Okay? But look at, 07 to 11. Look at this current run they're on with John Middleton being at the forefront. And look at the Philadelphia Eagles' success just in this century, since the turn of the century. Ownership matters. And when they care, they hear you. And when they hear you, you as a fan see it. And right now, I can't wholeheartedly say that Sixers ownership cares about you as a fan. Because they just separated 2/3 of where their fans come from easily accessing, going to a game. It sucks. I hate it. Let me know how you guys feel about this whole stadium debacle in the YouTube comment section. Tell me where I might be wrong. I'd love to have the discourse and see where you guys are coming from with it. And if you agree with me, disagree with me, let me know in the YouTube comment section. Leave it in a podcast review And, of course, guys, follow us on social media at Underground PHI, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch. You can follow me on Twitter at KBIZZL311 and KBIZZLE11 on Instagram and Threads. Subscribe to the pod, Apple, Spotify. Leave a 5-star rating and review. It goes a long way for helping the show continue to grow, helps more people find Underground Sports Philadelphia and our entire catalog of podcasts. And, of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. That's where you get full video episodes of this show, full video episodes of every show on our network, clips, shorts, live streams, original video content. It's all on our YouTube channel. Leave a like on the video. Drop a comment in the comment section. Click the bell icon so you know when new videos, live streams, or premieres go live. And, of course, this show is presented by the city of Vineland. And whether you're a company looking to expand, relocate, or you're a new business startup, selecting the right location is critical to your success. Vineland, New Jersey offers both an affordable business location and an excellent quality of life. The city's economic development department is a one-stop source for moving your project through the development and approval process, and their goal is to make this process as smooth as possible and to provide the fastest turnaround times in the region. If you're considering potential locations for your operation, contact the Vineland Economic Development Team at 856-794-4100. That's 856-794-4100. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And our mayor would never do what Philadelphia's doing. And, of course, big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast. This has been episode number 674 of Underground Sports Philadelphia. I'm your boy KB. We're so close to being back on track. I appreciate your patience. I'll see you guys on the next one, but until then, I'm getting the heck up out of here and I'm signing off. Peace.